This video is dedicated to all of my Discord friends who refuse to read the Genshin manga despite my gushing about it every chance I get, even though Sumeru is right around the corner and thus this story will be more important than ever. The first chapter of the manga is a standalone story about Vanessa, the first Dandelion Knight, how she met Venti and began the process of freeing Mondstadt from the corrupt clans who ruled it in the past, such as Eula's ancestors. It's important to the overarching story, but this video is about Sumeru, so I'll skip it. The main story begins after a failed attempt by the Fatui to steal children from Mondstadt to experiment on. Il Dottore, a Fatui harbinger and the one in charge of the experiments, has already left, and now the last Fatui nobles are also on their way out. Enter a giant serpent of black fire that attacks their carriage, killing them and injuring 15 others, as a sick-looking girl sneaks past the guards and Kaya during the chaos. The girl is Collei, another child experiment, injected with Archon residue that leaves her with an explosive power she can barely control, voices in her head, a sickness that alienates everyone she's ever tried to get help from, and a deep hatred of life and everyone in it. Unfortunately for her, she's found moping by Amber, who begins the process of cementing herself as Genshin's undeniable best girl by insisting on helping Collei find what she's looking for, though she doesn't know what it is yet, and giving Collei someone she can place her faith in at long last. This happens while Amber helps the Knights of Favonius investigate the quote-unquote Black Fire incident, and she makes the first breakthrough in the case by finding a clue in some burnt paper salvaged from the wreckage. She follows it to a Hilichurl camp and a Fatui beacon, but is interrupted by one of Dottoro's creations, the lackey he killed in Chapter 1 after he almost revealed the secrets to Diluc, now rebuilt as a cyborg. Jean arrives in time to help, and Amber figures out a way to destroy him using the Hilichurl's explosive barrels. Jean reveals that the clue Amber found also implicates Diluc and his deceased father. Back in Mondstadt, Kaya and Diluc explain to Jean and Lisa respectively about the day Diluc's father used the delusion and the repercussions of it. Diluc was implicated because the delusion left the same smell as a black fire, but the story clears his name. Collei hands over an encrypted document she stole from the library, and Lisa asks her teacher at Sumeru Academy for help translating it. Amber takes a break from searching for more of the Fatui's beacons to show off Mondstadt to a melancholic Collei, taking her to celebrate Ludi Harpastum with her. Collei is reluctant at first, but through a mixture of Amber's enthusiasm and being too dumb to win intellectual competitions by herself, is ultimately drawn into celebrating alongside her. Things take a turn from the worst, however, when Collei is selected to be locked inside a box for a magic trick, which brings back her memories of being mistreated in the outside world. She almost relapses into hating herself and the outside world again, but Amber rescues her before she fully loses herself. She takes an active role in participating in the festival afterwards. But things take yet another turn for the worst when Kaya isolates Collei and attacks her, believing her to be a willing culprit of the Blackfire incident and that she is simply acting innocent. She tries to keep her powers in check for Amber's sake but eventually lashes out, but she stops her power before it kills Kaya and asks him to kill her instead. Amber arrives just in time to rescue her. Collei admits to her that she's the culprit and tries to play the villain, but Amber calms her down. She says Collei is a good person and someone she admires. It works, though Collei is still shaken. Lisa's request to Sumeru is answered by Sino, who performs a ritual on Collei to seal the residue inside her. At the same time, Barnabas, one of Dottoro's underlings, arrives in Mondstadt as the Fatui's representative to investigate the Black Fire incident. While Diluc is able to fool him at first by using his father's delusion to create similar flames, he senses Collei's ritual and goes to find her instead. Barnabas was the one who experimented on her in the first place and attacks the girls in an attempt to take her back, but Amber defends her. The fight goes poorly until she turns the tables and pins Barnabas to the ground, but just as the girls turn to leave, he transforms into a monster and attacks again. Amber protects Collei with a wall of fire and fights him alone despite sustaining many injuries, but even after landing some key shots is unable to defeat him. Here comes the interesting part. Something happens that boosts the power of Amber's vision, which, combined with Diluc arriving in time to pin Barnabas again with chains, allows her to deal the finishing blow, taking him out once and for all. Kaya and the Fatui underlings arrive soon after, and the former captures Diluc and frames him for the Black Fire incident, as well as the attack on Barnabas. Once all is said and done, Collei leaves for Sumeru with Sino to learn more about the world, which she tells Amber in a letter delivered alongside the mended clothes she borrowed from her. Barnabas is brought to Dottore at the same time that he receives a packet from an escaped Diluc, containing his mask and now broken delusion. Kaya appears at the tavern to replace a vase Diluc broke earlier in the story, but hidden within it is the vision he discarded when he quit the Knights. All the key players not from Mondstadt are from Sumeru or currently based there, with Dottore and Sino already mentioned in-game and the Travail trailer respectively, and Collei mentioned via an Easter egg. Lisa's time at Sumeru was also bound to come up in the Sumeru Archon quest, not to mention Collei herself. We also potentially see the effect of a vision resonating with two people's ambitions at the same time, and this was over a year before we saw Kazuha ignite his friend's dormant vision. We also got a showcase of what Archon Residue could do long before the Inazuma Archon quest, as well as some really interesting character developments for Diluc, Kaya, and Amber. I skipped a lot of stuff, so I highly recommend you check the story out for yourself on Mangadex. Also, ChillWithAster, who does Genshin theory videos, has also dubbed some scenes from the manga that I recommend you check out too. Links to everything will be in the description. Oh, and if you're wondering how Amber was able to do so much damage to Barnabas, she's much stronger in the manga with a lot more powerful abilities too, like throwing flaming stones at Hilichurls and the fire shield I mentioned before. If she was half as effective in-game as she is here, she'd be a mid-tier unit easily. You also can't stress enough how endearing her bond with Collei is, so if the Sumeru quest doesn't include the two reuniting, or come with a hangout/character quest that's just the two of them having fun together, I'm going to riot. Also, Collei is Genshin's Nino, so of course I'm going to be mad if she's not interesting in-game too. But until then, thank you all for watching the summary. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below, like and subscribe to help the channel grow, and as always, have a great day.